2024 has been going a really good year for laptops. Look, there's been some really good laptops, some not so good one. Some are the upcoming ones with the 14th generation Intel and the 8th generation Ryzen CPU. But there is one laptop which I personally feel is the most underrated laptop of 2024 so far. You know what? I'm gonna get straight to the point. The laptop I'm talking about is the Lenovo LOQ 15. Now this laptop launched in the January of 2024, but it has been going for 91,000 if you look at this graph. This has also gone for 86,000, which is a crazy price for this laptop. I say that because it's been 3 months since this laptop launched, but there is still no laptop under 1 lakh rupees that can match its performance. Yes, there are few cons to this laptop, but the point is, this remains the only laptop under 1 lakh that comes with the 135 watt and 8GB RTX 4060. Honestly, it's strange why many manufacturers aren't providing the 4060 at this price point, because this is so close to the desktop series RTX 3060, and in fact it's even better in some aspects. Just look at the 3D Mark Firestrike score of the 4060 versus the RTX 3060 on the Lenovo Legion 5, and you can see the difference there is. Now look at these gaming benchmarks. You can clearly see it crushes the other laptops that comes at this price point because of its higher 135 watt TGP and 8GB VRAM. Yes, 4060 especially at around 92,000 rupees is crazy deal, considering the fact that there are no bottleneck issue, no throttling issues even after having the i5-12450H. Speaking of processors, don't let the 12th generation tag fool you. Check out these Cinebench R24 benchmarks and you know what I'm talking about. The same goes for the other tests like Geekbench 6 and the Firestrike CPU. These scores are really good even in 2024 because there isn't a significant improvement in the new 13th generation laptop, which makes the 12th generation CPUs still a really good for the price. Now, RTX 4060 is obviously a big factor why I like this laptop. But I know some people would say, okay, so this is a great laptop for performance, but what about the other factors? Well, the truth is the Lenovo LOQ 15 is actually a good laptop all around. Mostly, I mean, it looks really good. This is plastic, but it looks and feels strong. Yeah, there is a fair amount of flex on the lid and the keyboard deck, and the display twist a bit. However, these issues aren't bad enough to be a deal breaker. The laptop feels otherwise well assembled, except for the display. The finish doesn't scratch or pick up fingerprints easily. The feet are solid and the ports are on the back. But I wish Lenovo had made this laptop lighter and slimmer. 2.4 kilos, the laptop is on the heavier side, and you obviously feel it when you slide it into your backpack alongside the heavy power adapter. I agree, gaming laptops tends to be a bit heavier than the traditional notebooks given the complex internals they pack in and how the cooling system works, and that increases the size of the machine. That being said, when gaming laptops are being sold as a multi-purpose machine, they can't be much larger and heavier. The 15.6-inch screen can display 1080p resolution at a refresh rate of 144Hz. It's a good screen for fast-paced action games, and G-Sync support is an added bonus. I wouldn't say this is the best panel available on a gaming laptop. It is not. But those who use machine with the high refresh rate and HDR will notice the difference. But the best part about the display that I like the most is the color accuracy. It is officially stated that sRGB coverage is around 100%, which means it should be around 95 or 97%, which is very good for any type of color grading work. Whether it is photo editing, video editing or graphic designing, you will be able to easily control the colors the way you want them. However, the battery life was disappointing. I remember when gaming laptops couldn't last more than 2 hours. Well, things haven't changed much. This laptop too is not advertised to have a battery that can last a full day of gaming or working. It can only give 1 hour and 10 minutes of gaming from a single charge. Sure, when doing non-gaming tasks, the battery may last a little longer, not enough to compete with the MacBook Air or any ultra-compact Windows notebook. If you look closely to the top bezel, you still won't able to see the privacy shutter. That's because there is an electronic one, which is activated by dedicated toggle switch. The hinges feel smooth. While they have a lot of resistance, you can still open the laptop with one hand. That said, there is a fair amount of screen wobble when moving the laptop or touching the screen. The touchpad is really good on this laptop. It's pretty responsive and the tracking is accurate. Talking about the ports, on the left side of the device, there is a USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 type port with power delivery 140 watt and DisplayPort 1.4 capability, as well as an audio jack. Then on the right side, you get a USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 port and the camera shutter. Lastly, all the other IOs is located on the back. This includes 2 USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 2 port, a LAN port, an HDMI 2.1 connector, and the power plug. So a lot of essential ports. The only port that's not here is the SD card slot. The keyboard feels spacious, easy to get used to. The key have decent amount of key travel and doesn't require much force to press. However, they provide very little tactile and audio feedback. So it's sometimes hard to know if you have pressed a key. Also, key stability is inconsistent. as some key wiggles more than others. Depending on how you type, you might find that the touchpad is in the way, causing you to rest your wrist in an awkward manner. The backlighting is 4-zone RGB1, so you can play around the colors using the Vantage software. Look, overall the point is there are a lot of good laptops in sub 1 lakh price segment. There is the really good Omen 16, there is the Nitro V, but my pick for the most underrated laptop of 2024 so far is the LOQ 50, because like I said at the start, it's been some time since this laptop launched, but the performance it brings is still unmatched. And you know what, there are a few cons to this laptop, it's not perfect. But if you ask me, this is my personal choice. And yeah, that's the respect it deserves. Now, I